Blocked by Hayes. Now the ball pops loose, and Maple Grove's going to have it. Right out in front, they score!
Welcome to the season premiere of Sports Jam. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Today on the show, opening week highlights in soccer. We'll meet a star running back from Osseo in our Sports Jam Spotlight. And we'll talk volleyball with the Wayzata Trojans.
And we'll get started with football. Football got an early start this season, and most teams will have played 3 games before school starts. Osseo opened with a 7-point win over rival Maple Grove. The Orioles look to make it 2 for 2 as they played at Andover. First quarter, Malik Gaylord hooks up with Demario Armstrong and a 44-yard touchdown pass for a 14-0 Orioles lead. Second quarter, Gaylord hits Marmar Hughes in stride for a 34-yard score and a 21-7 lead. Less than 10 seconds to go in the first half. Gaylord to Christian Tharp for the TD. Osseo leads 42-7 at halftime. They go on to win it over Andover 42-28.
Maple Grove looked to bounce back from that Game 1 loss to Osseo. They took on Hopkins in a game that it's safe to say the offensive players and coaches will enjoy the game film more than the defensive guys. Youth football night for the Crimson home opener. And just seconds in, Hopkins sets the tone. Oscar Johnson hits Dayon Campbell over the middle, and Campbell gets into the clear. It looks like he'll score, but Peter Doyle runs him down, but the 66-yard play sets up an early Royals TD. Maple Grove swiftly responds on the counter. A nice cut by Isaac Collins, and he scores from 20 yards out. The start of a big night for Collins, and it's 7-7. A big play on special teams for the Crimson as Zion Allen blocks the Zach Savitz punt. Lasana Cisse scoops it up and scores for Maple Grove. They go up 13-7. Still in the first, and Johnson gets the slip screen to Campbell. It seems like he's bottled up here, but guess again. Campbell gets a couple of blocks, and he is home free. A 70-yard TD, and it's 14-13 Royals after 1 quarter. After the teams trade scores, Ryan Hanscom fights his way in for a Maple Grove touchdown. The Crimson add a field goal to lead 31-21 after a wild first half. Each team gets 2 touchdowns in the second half, but Collins and the Crimson hold on for the wild win. 44-36 is the final.
Totino Grace was coming off a rare opening game loss, although that was against Eden Prairie. The Eagles look to bounce back as they took on the Anoka Tornadoes. Gayfor Flomo gets a great block early on this sweep. Flomo's cut down at the 1-yard line, but it sets up a touchdown, and Grace leads 7-0. The Eagles come up with a solid defensive effort. Charlie Waters gets up and picks off the Tornadoes pass late in the first quarter. After they change ends of the field, that leads to this play. Kyle Halverson with a play-action pass to Alex Spevacek, leaping in the end zone for a touchdown. It's 14-0 Eagles at halftime. Third quarter, Ivan Burlak scores on a sweep. Totino Grace rolls to a win over Anoka, 27-0 the final.
Armstrong figures to have its best team in at least a decade. After winning their open over Chanhassen, the Falcons took on St. Louis Park Friday in Plymouth. This one might be the catch of the year. Check out True Thompson's diving grab of the Collis Barber pass despite losing his helmet. It's 7-0 Falcons. Then Barber goes the other way to True's younger but not so little brother, 6'7" Race Thompson for another touchdown, and it's 14-0 Falcons. Still in the first, and Evan McClellan will burst up the middle through a nice gap. He breaks a late arm tackle to go 34 yards for the touchdown, and the Falcons lead 23-2 after 1 quarter. Amadou Dunbar is another good back for Armstrong. He races through and around the Orioles defenders here to put another 6 on the board for Armstrong. Dunbar rushes for 77 yards on just 9 carries, and the Falcons go up 31-2. Barber connects with Nathan Ball here, and he is gone on this one. Armstrong cruises to a 52-8 win. They get ready for district rival Cooper this week. Park Center trying to go 2-0 as they hosted Spring Lake Park in the Suburban Red sub-district. First quarter, and the Panthers' Luke Stafford takes the inside handoff and goes in for a 6-yard touchdown. and it's 7-0 Panthers. Pirates offense looking to get downfield. Carl Altenberg unleashes a bomb, but Aaron Flink gets inside position for the interception. The Pirates, though, get a turnover of their own. The Panthers fumble on the punt return, and Malcolm Lawson recovers for Park Center in Spring Lake Park territory. And it sets up this touchdown. Amani Hooker keeps it and goes in from 11 yards out, tying the game at 7-all, and that's the score at halftime. Third quarter, and Panthers quarterback Zachary Odell scores on the short touchdown run. Spring Lake Park was ahead for good, 14-7. On the ensuing kickoff, Tyshawn Brooks fields the ball. He tries to hand off here to Hooker, but the ball is fumbled, and Stafford scoops up the loose ball and scores. That makes it 21-7. Spring Lake Park goes on to win this one 28-7.
It's shaping up as a pretty solid year for football in the area. Here are some of the other results from Week 2. Cooper holds off Benilde St. Margaret's for a 34-27 win. The Hawks are 2-0 and host Armstrong Thursday. Wayzata blasts Shakopee 47-0 as the Trojans also move to 2-0. They get a tough test this Friday at Prior Lake. Providence Academy falls in a good game to a strong St. Croix Lutheran team, 28-21. Breck loses a close one, 27-21 to Concordia Academy, despite a strong rushing performance by Levi Selness. And West Lutheran drops to 0-2 with a close loss to Glenville Emmons. Looks like some good teams this year, Jay, and the new district scheduling is okay.
Yeah, it looks like there'll be some rivalries that will stay the same, but also some new ones being made. I think there's definitely some interesting matchups throughout the rest of the season, including Armstrong playing Cooper again, which hasn't been the case for a while. Stick around. Next on our season premiere of Sports Jam, opening week highlights from soccer plus volleyball. Welcome back to the season opener of Sports Jam for the 2015-2016 school year.
The Breakdown Sports Side-Out Classic brought together 34 volleyball teams from throughout the state for a one-day event Saturday at the Lindbergh Center. Mandy Burry in her first year as Osseo head coach, placing Bill Kwan. The Orioles facing Farmington in their season opener. Osseo in white, back set from Lane Ruska to Azaria Reed for the kill. Puts Osseo up 11-7 in the third set. The teams had split the first two. Later, Kate Achenbach to Ellie Hoyt. It sets to Christina Bowe for the kill. The Orioles win the set 25-20. Fourth set, no defense put up by the Tigers here, and Bowe hammers away again for an Osseo point. Hoyt sets the ball outside to Kelly Auer, whose hit is off the block and down. The Orioles take the fourth set 25-16 as they win in four. Osseo 1-0 to start the season.
Also at the Side-Out Classic, Maple Grove taking on North Branch. Mary Peterson with an ace serve here for the Crimson as they go up 8-6 in the first set. Paige Aspinwall sets to Alyssa Peterson, whose hit is off the tape and down for a point. The Crimson win the first one 25-17. Coach Sean Haugen's team takes the second set as well. Lauren Bright the pass, Aspinwall the set, and Paige Hinsey for the kill for the Crimson. Then a quick set from Aspinwall to Alexa Otto here for another point. Maple Grove wins its season opener in 3. The Crimson host Osseo on Tuesday. And in the marquee matchup at the Side-Out Classic, Champlain Park, 5th in the state in Class 3A a year ago, knocks off preseason #1 Prior Lake in 5 sets. The Rebels lost the first 2 and then took the final 3, including a 16-14 win in set 5 to take an impressive season opener.
Wayzata's volleyball team reached the Section 6-3A final last year and come into this season ranked in the top 5. The Trojans opening the 2015 season at home against Lakeville South. Set 1 of the battle. Kate Berg crushing the kill down the line for a 26-25 Wayzata lead. The Cougars keep coming back until Berg drops this shot in the corner for a 30-28 Wayzata win. Set 2, Jenny Mosser hammers it down for the Cougars as they take control. On set point, Emily Hoff's block gives Lakeville South the win and ties it up 1-all. Set 3, Wayzata trying to rally again. Lauren Jaggerson's kill cuts the Cougars lead at 20-18. The Mosser splits the Wayzata defense with this kill, and Lakeville South goes on to win the set. In the fourth, also a tight one, Liz Benson dropping in a soft shot to make it 23-22, but Mosser delivers the kill on match point, and Wayzata loses 3-1.
At Cooper, an all-district 281 battle between the Hawks and Armstrong. In the first set, Cooper's on the left. Kylie Christensen sets it to Summer Ballard, who wipes it to the outside past the block. The Hawks go up 9-5. Armstrong comes back. Kelsey Ripberger sets to Shelby Johnson, who will power it through the Cooper block for a point and a 19-15 lead. Armstrong wins set 1, 25-17. Cooper starts fast again in set 2. Christensen gets the set to Ballard for the kill, and the Hawks surge out to an 8-3 lead over the Falcons. Armstrong doesn't panic though. Ripberger with the dig, and Britta Meyer pushes it to an open spot for a point. The Falcons lead it 17-16. And they pull away from there. The overpass by Cooper will leave Moriel Peng with an easy chance, and Armstrong sweeps Cooper.
Wayzata's boys soccer team finished as state class AA runners-up last fall. The Trojans took the field at home last week in their season opener. Playing Mounds View second half, the Trojans pass comes ahead to Alex Bracken, who can't get a shot away, but McLean King is there to knock the loose ball in. That's Wayzata leading 1-0. A great goal by the Mustangs ties it. Armando Jenkins Vasquez with the cross. Josh Hintz with a header goal, and it's 1-1. A short time later, the Mustangs make a bid to take the lead, but Wayzata goalie Troy Lawanchi scrambles out to cover the loose ball ahead of the Mustangs, Grant Molinoff. This match goes to OT. Jason Lehman with a scoring chance for Wayzata, but keeper Austin Gunkel makes the save. This one ends in a 1-1 tie. Wayzata's girls won their opener over SPA 6-2.
Mankato West paying a visit to the Park Center girls in the opener. McKenna Boozman gets a step on the PC defender and sets up Ashley Gustafson, who turns and fires for the goal. Mankato West goes up 1-0 in the first half. Park Center tries to answer. Danielle Schaub will hold off the defender and get a good chance, but her shot goes just wide of the net, and it stays 1-0. Katie Roberts gets it to the ball first and puts it away to give Mankato West a 3-0 halftime lead on Park Center. The Pirates were third in Class A last season. Second half, and the through ball ahead to Josie Pay, but Scarlet's goalkeeper Emma Matter gets there first to cover it up. Park Center does get on the board as Schaub drops it back to Megan Dubois, who lofts a shot in, but it's too little too late. Park Center falls 4-1. It's become an annual tradition as Cooper and Heritage Christian Academy play to start the soccer season. The girls up first in this doubleheader, and it's scoreless until about 10 minutes to play when Cooper's Nora Griffin-Weisner scores on the perfectly placed free kick. That's the game winner, and the Hawks take it 1-0.
In the boys match, Cooper hoping to match a dominating win they had a year ago against Heritage, but Heritage strikes first. Hannah Scott wins the race up the right side, a shot off the keeper and in for a 1-0 lead just under 7 minutes in. Cooper responds. Arresto Banks taps it to Eddie Ogamba, and his left-footed shot finds the net, and it's tied up 1-1. It stays that way into overtime. Off a corner kick, Cooper's Corso Jaja crossing it to Jafar Abdul Rahman for the header and goal. And the Hawks take the lead at 2-1. A great goal for Cooper. They had one more, and they win it over Heritage 3-1. A good way for Cooper to start the season.
Yeah, some nice goals there, and they have a couple of good opponents this week. They'll be tested as they take on Minneapolis South and then Apple Valley. Coming up next, our first Sports Jam spotlight of the season as we meet an Osseo football standout who plays to honor a fallen relative. The Osseo football team is off to a 2-0 start this fall. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet an Orioles running back who has extra incentive to run hard. It's easy to underestimate Prince Kruah because of his size, but defenders have learned the hard way.
Side Kruah gets around the edge and into the secondary.
The 5'7", 180-pound Osseo senior is tough to catch and tough to bring down.
Ever since I came into the game as a sophomore, people thought I was always this little tiny back that I didn't have any strength in me. But before the game, I always tell myself that, hey, you weigh 250 pounds, go into the game, pretend like you were like an NFL player or whatever, and go into the game, throwing dudes to the ground and play aggressive, be aggressive. I would tell myself stuff like that to stay focused in the game.
Osseo has the makings of a strong offensive line this fall, and they love blocking for Kruah, who has many strengths.
His speed definitely helps a lot, and his drive to play football. He loves what he does, and he's definitely a team player when it comes down to it. He doesn't give up on plays. He goes all the way to the whistle and does not give up, and he is definitely a team player. He loves to be around us. He's always, every single time in the locker room, halftime, before a game, he is always up with the O-line thanking us, and just a great team supporter.
A 1,200-yard rusher last fall despite missing time with an injury, Prince opened this year with a gritty 27-carry, 157-yard performance in a win over rival Maple Grove.
I came into the game happy and excited that, hey, I'm glad that I get to face this defense to test my abilities out. And the way I ran with, obviously, I ran with heart and excitement.
Kruah has great speed, but he's learned the subtleties of the running back position too.
We got after in practice sometimes. I'm like, Prince, why don't you get outside there? He's like, oh, I was following my guard. I'm like, I've never heard you talk like that. And he was actually doing the right thing. So it was really fun to watch and see that maturity, and that's a big part of the mental part of knowing what's going on and not just being a speed back. You know, when you're younger, everybody wants to run outside. But that doesn't work. You know, we couldn't get outside of Maple Grove unless we, had some seal blocks and things like that. So he did a really nice job.
Prince is part of a large Liberian community in the Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center area, although he was born in another country.
I'm actually from the Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. My family's Liberian because I'm from the Ivory Coast because of the Civil War that's been on in Liberia.
American football is a new sport for a lot of immigrant families. It's helped Kruah as he's grown.
My mom at first wanted me to play soccer until my teachers at my school that I went to started talking to her about football, how it could help me out with school, help me stay in school and all that stuff. And so that motivated her to help put me in football.
Prince plays with a lot of heart, and a family tragedy fuels him. His cousin Emmanuel Bartua lost his life in a gun accident.
He passed away in 2008, and that's basically the reason why I'm all into football and why I'm so dedicated to the game. He was a really awesome football athlete, and on the day of his funeral, I made an oath to him, telling him that I will finish what he started, and apparently that's what I'm doing right now. I made a promise to my cousin, so that's why I'm on into the game.
That extra drive is carrying Prince Kruah to big things for Osseo. Kruah has been in the state track meet as a sprinter and has been part of 2 school record-holding relay teams for the Orioles. Sports Jam returns in a moment as John talks volleyball with the Wayzata Trojans.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The high school volleyball season is underway, and one of the top teams in the area and in the state, the Wayzata Trojans, and they join us for this first show of the season. Head coach Scott Jackson, along with captains Liz Benson and Reagan Palish. And Reagan, talk about expectations for this team coming into this season.
Yeah, the expectations are very high, obviously. Being in a very competitive conference, too, it's always a challenge every week, playing really high competitive teams. So it's always, practice is always like competitive, and yeah, very high expectations.
You reached the section final last year. What did you take from that season that carries over to this year?
Yeah, at the end of the last season, we met in the locker room and we said we need to start earlier. We need to keep our head in the game like all season long, start earlier, be really competitive at the beginning and throughout the summer.
How much do you girls work when it's not high school season on preparing for this next year?
Yeah, club season usually goes from like November until July. So working with the club teams, it's always a long season. So getting to high school, it's quick and fast and matches every day almost. So it's a lot, yeah.
From what you've seen in practice, what do you like about this team?
The chemistry between all of us is insane. We're all really good friends. Like, there's no drama, which is so nice. We're all really close friends outside of volleyball too. So, yeah, it's a great team.
Enjoy a good season.
Thanks.
Liz, tell me about the preseason and how things have gone leading up to the first matches, and how much does the scrimmages like today help?
Yeah, the scrimmage went really well today. I think we're just kind of getting out the kinks, and we just are starting in the gym, ending summer a little early, but we're happy to be back in the gym working hard.
What do you see as a potential strength for this team? What are you guys going to do well on the court?
I think our offense is definitely very strong, but we're also working on our defense, and that's getting really, really good. So we're going to be pretty equal to offense and defense. So.
And I want preseason poll has you guys ranked number 2 in the state. How do you guys react to that? And do you talk about it much at all amongst yourselves?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it puts us to a higher standard, and I think that we can really fulfill that by just working hard and keeping focused.
Let's enjoy the season.
Thanks.
Head coach Scott Jackson, and Scott, going into a season, coach usually knows based on the personnel what kind of team they might have. Can you tell some things early in the season based on practices too, and a scrimmage like today, what kind of team you're going to have?
I think we have a lot of balance on our team. We have really good players in every position, truthfully, and a good core that's come back with experience that hopefully will be really strong leadership, Reagan and Liz included, but we'll be kind of good at everything, and we won't really have liabilities. It's just, can we pull in on our strengths as hard as possible to be our best team. So.
How much does that help too, that you've got maybe kind of a balanced team, maybe not one player that the attack will run through, but a lot of strong players everywhere on the court?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play volleyball that way when the opponent doesn't know what's going to happen next, because they can't just center in on one kid and do their best to stop that one kid. It's a really fun way to play, and it's a really engaging way to play, because everyone's got to be on their toes and ready for the next play that I'm not quite sure what's going to happen either. So.
New section this year. You've looked at the teams, I'm sure. What's your take on it?
Yeah, you tend to know a lot of the kids up in this area, and there's a lot of strong players. Osseo, Maple Grove, tough teams. Blaine, St. Michael's always tough. I think the one we look at a little bit is Champlin as well. As Champlin's very well coached with John Junker there, and a couple of kids right in the center of the team. Sydney, Hilly, most especially. That we want to do our best against, and looking forward to that competition when it comes. So.
Thanks for your time. Enjoy the season.
Thanks very much.
Wayzata Trojans getting underway with their season. They'll have a match coming up on Tuesday and more coming up later this week, and then the late conference season starting later in September. We'll take a break. First, our plays of the week.
Breaks a couple of tackles, and this time he finds his way to the end zone.
Channel 12 is back with a new year of high school sports. Tune in for complete game action all season long. Collins to the end zone, touchdown, Maple Grove. Our games will be live on the web via live stream, and most you can catch live on Channel 12. Follow us on Twitter @12sports. And for a complete list of games, go to 12.tv.
Engelbrecht lines it up, fires, and scores.
Channel 12, your local source for prep sports.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Will, for example. His first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. He's learning production skills and now has access to cutting-edge equipment. He's working on local music productions, meeting new people, and gaining experience needed to produce his own show. Best of all, he's sharing his passion for music with others in his community. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
Our game of the week is an all-Robbinsdale District football matchup as 2-0 Armstrong meets 2-0 Cooper. Watch the game live Thursday at 7 o'clock on Channel 12 and 12.tv. And catch the replays Friday night at 10 or Saturday at 4 and 10 p.m. And that will do it for the season opener of Sports Jam.
We'll be back starting next Tuesday with our next Sports Jam, and we invite you to watch our 12 Sports Hall of Fame special this Labor Day weekend as we induct 4 new members to our Hall of Fame. That starts Saturday. Thanks for watching Sports Jam.